Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Dhyana Moolam Gurur Murtim Puja Moolam Gurur Padam Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam Moksha Moolam Gurur Kripa Ajnana Timirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Zirbhavatu me sada Om Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurabhyo Namaha Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Friends, the original religion of man, which is commonly called as Adi Dharma or Sanatana Dharma, it has given way to many religions. Acharya Shankara, master of Advaita, went and is the Sthapanacharya of Shanmata, the 6 religions. Then came many religions. For a common man we can't understand. For a Shauram, Shaktam, Shaivam, Vaishnavam, Kaumaram, Ganapatyam. So they started in their own way propitiating rain god or Divine Mother. In their own way, what they eat they used to offer, and they started constructing smaller places of worship. And that's also nice because they could interact with something divine for natural grace, getting grace from the nature. For example, for rainy season, before the rain starts, they used to worship Mother. They will be calling in Kailvadiyama, Mariyama, this Amma, that Amma. But the effect is worshipping of nature for rain. After they get sumptuous harvest, they used to worship. Even Shiva was called, with a mustache, they will call it Munishwara, this, that. So whatever their custom of living is, their eating habits are, they used to create such idols, and that has become a pattadi, that has become a worshipping mode, method for all the people who did not understand this kind of higher, not higher, this kind of Shanmata. So I am trying to say this is becoming humbler every day is the purpose of life. For many, they are beaten So they want to come up and show that they are strong. They feel that they are beaten. More importantly, they are not beaten. So they want to prove themselves. So they want to come out. Many of others are fools. They are pampered and they think that they are great. That is one sect, this is another sect. So they think that they are great because they are pampered everywhere. They feel themselves as great. So these two type of people are depending on external, or rather depend on external happenings. So right from Anadi Kala, whenever Avatar or our God people come, they say that hardly 1 out of 1,000 will be self-made. Self-made is, I will make myself, and I will not depend on others' comments or others' suppressions. I will be myself. These people do vyavasaya. They do even when they become weak, thousands of people start telling that you are wrong, wrong, wrong. They change their mode of operations, thinking, they also fall. For example, a school boy going to from the very orthodox family, one who enters into a school, suppose 50 students or 50 class people are trying to call him name, then he will also change if he doesn't have the self-confidence. He'll change his habits, movements, and life. So this is how the world runs. So one in the whole Srishti who can throw light on others to be self-confident and to have policies of their own, that is the greatest light which we call God. Such a light, when it is shining, it is a great Guru. So that's why we call Ajnana Timirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. The whole darkness of mankind will be thwarted, will be lit by one single light. Again and again avatars have come and gone. These are all not for belief, it's a reality whether we accept or not. Something like continuous life. Whether we believe or not, life is many jivas will come and go. The Punarjanma is a reality. Similarly, rishis, munis, their way of seeing light and throwing light on mankind, that all have happened, happening, will happen. Similar facts are man's going away from the true way of life. As I always say that a rat cannot appear to be a dog cannot appear to be an elephant, but man appears to be different. So such people in the middle, they come and go. They take a lot of lakhs of janmas because they don't have a policy, they don't know what for they are living. They just see world and see others, neighbors. They form their own opinion about life and live like hina than animals. Because at least animals live as animals. So such people, how will we call them as naras, as humans? So please understand, when we have a life and form, let us not negate nature. Such people, Manushya Vritti, Divya Vritti, Asurika Vritti, these three are there. For this itself they should have done a lot of punyas. To live as humans, it itself is a big thing. All others are foxes and dogs in the form of humans. Then Devika Vritti comes, one who wants to know the details and reality and truth of life. Some others want to see the end of negativity. They are called asuras. But mind you that they are, at last when they grow beyond control, in the past, as per Puranas, they are being, nowadays we should not do it because every human has a life and we should support him till the end. As long as he can breathe his last naturally. We should not kill anyone. Those days, whether it's Lalita, Rama or someone, they used to finish off this ultimate asura because that will spread the incompetency and also the sort of asuric nature in human beings, thinking that it will win forever. The Hiranyakashipu's land is majority only, But a single Prahlada can thwart this fellow, the designs of Hiranyakashipu. And all the good-minded people also have started talking about Om Hiranyakashipu Namaha. They did not want to take the name of Lord. This is only a comparison. A sadhu should not fear. That's all the message is. A bhaktha should not fear. But that fear should be full of surrender to God. Then only it is, the support system will work. So, fear without support of God is asura. Ravana was worshipping Shiva, Bhasmasura did tapas, Bandasura. These great people had even accumulated that power through being divinity, divine heads. But now, today, we should look at it from a different viewpoint. The unnecessary people are dying because of fear. A result comes out, somebody died yesterday, it seems. Now the question is whether education can decide on the life of a person, or a person should not consider education as important. These two are not necessary. Living every moment, transcending this is very important. So when a particular impression occupies the mind of person, he gets afraid to when the situations pose differently. Because of one loss of this life, 100 others who has to pass away will be stopped, because the way is limited. The traffic constable will be there. It's a fact also. I can't explain this. Those who are in the deathbed also will not move. That's another thing. Now, I was talking about mind and transcending of mind. Transcending of mind should not become a powerhouse of asuric vrittis. That's why I was quoting the example of Ravana, Bhasmasura and Bandasura. Instead of becoming divine, they become, they feel that they are in the top of nature. Such people should be transformed into mild, people who can show respect to all the creation. So today, these three are great examples of how we develop an intelligence which is arrogant. Ravana, in the 10 indriyas, Hattu Talagalu represents the 10 indriyas. The 5 karmendriyas and 5 jnanendriyas of every body gets darpa, the greatest, feeling of power. That is to be removed by Athma Rama. Similarly, Bandasura. Banda means one who knows anything and everything, about anything and everything. The totality of knowledge. The treasure house of everything. So when that feeling comes, I know everything, I know everything. That's another kind of asuric vritti. And they, for example itself, they say, everyone becomes mud, everyone becomes this. So that is called Bhasmasura. When everything can become ashes, even that knowledge is very bad. When they know with mamakara. So the trick is where we go wrong. If all these three knowing is wrong, then where are we fitting in this world? That's why the nature of forgetting is given by God. Forgetfulness. Dakshinamurti Swami was singing, Orme Varunu, Orme Varunu. Towards the end, we can't forget certain things. He was singing a song in one of the functions. Ormeಗಳು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. How we should get rid of this money. All these discussions are only during waking state. Ravana also sleeps, Parvati also sleeps. All the divine avatars sleep. In sleep, is there an asura or deva or manushya or pranis? No. Ravanasura can dream, but he can't sleep and dream. Can't do the same simultaneously. Very few people get psychic dreams. All others are still in the world, materialistic dreams. Almost every day we see we redo the same thing as a film, what we have done in the morning, from the morning to night. So this ormigal, this nyapagangal, this what we call as remembrance, come because something enters into our memory very, very strongly. But the day maybe we sing like the Shamti Swami, maybe those things get erased. Or remember with full, giving full weightage of your thought, then also it gets erased. Or in the dream, if it repeats very strongly, then next time you will not get the same dream or thought. But the easiest way I have told you long back. What is that? Anyone remembers? Let all the thoughts. Everyone? Om Trayambakam. Can you repeat? I don't know much. If anyone remembers, all can join. Otherwise, this is the best way of forgetting things and starting next moment onwards.
Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityurmokshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityurmokshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityurmokshiyamamritat.
I told you some words.
Let all our words, thoughts, actions and deeds get sucked into the Vayumandala and from there into the thin space called ether to be absorbed by Lord Shiva and let them not revert back to this earth.
Let it be sent to the sky.
Okay.
Once again, can you repeat?
Let all our words, thoughts, actions and deeds get sucked into the Vayumandala, from there into the thin space called ether, to be absorbed by Lord Shiva, and from there into the sky, and let them not revert back to this earth.
If you can say this, you will see that whatever thought was very strong in you, even if you can't forget it, it will become mild next time and it will die. Thoughts, words, deeds. Suppose you are calling someone some names very fast, or you are ready to beat others, or you show your emotions very fast. Such people, till this moment, whatever we have done, let all this be sucked by Vayumandala, the storehouse of sound. From there, let it be transported to the thin ether. From there, let Shiva take it to the sky, not to revert back to this earth. Because if it reverts back, it will not hurt me. Some others it will enter as memory. Let it not come back in anyone's memory also, isn't it? So good things should happen to this earth, means we should deal with the world of vibrations with very much a simple life of simple expression of respect. Can all tell me this? I want to hear. Let Thank you. Every day night if you tell, I think, this day will be fresh, or that moment onwards will be fresh. And if you get a good sleep also, that will add to the freshness. So understand, focusing on a thought is very necessary for the world in the material level. And creating plans, strategies to achieve that ambition is very good, because no one knows what karma phala is there for them, but still they have to spend their life. Let them do something. They should not waste their brains or body. So let them move in some direction. But if you want to get released, then this way is not the way to proceed. And that liberation or whatever we talk, as realization, liberation, freedom, will not prevent you from proceeding this way. That is another thing. In some certain places of worship, the other religious people cannot enter. Suppose there are a lot of restrictions in approaching greater religious leaders and all these days. The only place where all these people can meet is Athma, means the self. So this is what we were singing as panchAvastha swaroopini. The three states of waking, dream and deep sleep. Then I slept, that is another awareness which supports the sleep also, that is the fourth. Fifth avastha is this Jiva Chaitanya which transacts with these four. Jiva Chaitanya, the consciousness of life. So Sakshi, Prajna. Sakshi, witness for these three states, then Prajna, conscious. So, Sadhu, who is Prajna? Mahaprajna is Lalita only. The consciousness which throws light on everything. You can call it Adi Shakti, Janani, anything. What we mean is, the meaning is more important than the name. That which plays, Lalita, plays with all the panchAvasthas, all these five. In front of her, if some great person goes and says, see, I have laid roads, created chatras, I have created temples, will she bless or laugh? Still I am thinking how she will respond. So the great and small, that's how they play. More you know about, what do you call, Bambara, what do you call that? Top. It starts showing the dance. It's top dances as if it attracts only children. But it attracts only children, not very grown up or a scientist cannot be attracted by this. So the highest banda holder, knowledge holder, the highest person who knows that all these things are going to mud, the highest person who knows that I have the strongest power in my body and mind, all this, what is it? So we call it vibhuti. Bhasma is bhasma, but it becomes worshipful when it becomes vibhuti. Similarly, what is mud? In Vaishnavism, everywhere in the world they call it Taruman. Just Abhishekam, Manjanam, Tarumanjanam. Everything is divinized in the name. And everything is just created of nature. And the nature is created by the power. So he was mentioning in Tevaram, even in Vaishnavism they call it Iru Kadal, not 7 seas, only 2 seas they call. That which you see as Samudra, that which is covering the Samudra as Antariksha, not Akasha. We call in Vanantila, Vanam, what do you call that? Space. Space which we see above is also water. So that Samudra and this Samudra, it's created by here the Shiva, there it is Vananai we call it, no? There we call Narayana. How many Samudras are there? What are they? Space. Why this space is called as water? Because it absorbs the water and gives back the water. So that is also water. And all these are created by Aditya, Surya. Without sun's effect, these waters cannot go back to space. So when a person is living, it depends upon the Aditya within, the temperature he maintains. Otherwise we call it low BP, high BP, this BP. It's not a laughable thing, but why should we forget that there is a heat within us? Why don't we transform it into fire to approach consciousness? So once the heat leaves, we call it his hand has got cold. notify, these are all becoming blue. Because everywhere the movement stops. And we call it very cold, very cold. So understand the heat, the fire, the element of purification. So a Ravana should understand that fire. Bandasura should understand that there is a fire which ignites his Banda, Jnana Bandara. Then everything is divinized. Till such a time it is only Mada. So for namesake I call it divinity, divinity. It's so natural, it's life. If you want to relate it, it is just life. There is nothing called divinity there. Suppose this prana goes in and comes out, I can call it just oxygen. There is no divinity in it. But once I want to make it, just like making mud thiruman, once I want to know that there is a power which supplies me this breath, then I call it prana, then Vayu Bhagavan, so many things. I relate it to divinity. So all these lectures cannot go waste. Because each sentence is having some sort of fire in it. We don't use words just for using the words. That we can create artificially. Just an instrument is there, if I beat it, it creates some sound. Some harmony is there, if we play it, it creates some other sound. Suppose beating is sound, hearing is sound, everything is sound. If I use my swadhisthana and want to tell something, exercising vocal cords, it's another sound. Why? In the deep sleep, when you get up, closing of eyelid, it creates an atom bomb sound. Thum, it creates. But the fun is knowing the silence and using this. These are all just created. If you know the silence, you can create any shabda. And you are free from the effect of creating this shabda. Till such a time you want this shabda. That's why I told, when the words go out, whatever word I told, let it go to Vayu Mandala, not externally, it's also internally. My prana created one word, isn't it? So let it be sucked into the ether, from there out to the sky. It's not an external orientation. It includes internal travel. People like Patanatara and great jnanis, they don't intend to speak. So they speak, the songs or the speech becomes a fire which spreads. So if someone wants to negate, they can't negate anything. There's nothing to be negated in this world. What we negate is existing in some other thing, at least in our thoughts. That's why we negate. Suppose we say there is no God. At least formatively or unconsciously we are thinking something as a concept of God and we say that there is no God. You understand? So our negation can be very loud. I am Nastika, I am Nastika. But na asti, which is existing, I am negating. It's not that it's not there. Isn't it? So, which God is there? That is another subject to be probing into. But the astitva itself is God. The existence is God. So the people who are weakened, almost all complain about rogas, money, family, wealth. Everything suppresses them, gives them depression. Or other people who complain about finance, some other people complain about family, some other people complain about the world and politics and existence. All these are just, we don't know what they mean. So, the contentment, the satisfaction, where it is. I don't want everyone to feel that I am beyond the body, but know that you are beyond the body at least. That becomes your body very light. For a Mahan, because he was sitting, the legs became so much swollen. The people who were around started thinking, and they wanted to bring a few doctors. Then the Mahan got the reflection and told, okay, bring them. And each one gives another name for the same thing, and they start talking about the same suffering by the Mahan in different names. So at last he had to tell that as it is, what you see is always something which is subject to probe, analysis, and viewing differently by different people. As it is, what you see. Then he told the doctor, from now onwards you will walk, you can walk freely. You just tell this word and go. The Vaidya is there. If you can't cure or do something, at least he can give you a confident word instead of analyzing and telling that you have got this. Why don't you tell this word? So when the Vaidya told that, okay, everything is all right, whether he mentally told or accepted it, we don't know. He told that everything is all right, your thing has become all right. And till today he is walking. Then don't compare that he is Mahan, that is why he did it. No. Everyone needs this support, because this support is not available. Even if he works fine, someone is there to pull him down. That's all. Otherwise, even if he has not worked, someone is there to pamper him as if he has done so many things. Instead of this, correct things be told in a very correct way. So, complaints you tell for others just to pass time, but within you, what you should tell? Long back I have told. Someone first to tell, then we will all join.
Everything is always all right, all the times, at all places.
So let us all tell. Everything is always all right.
Always all right.
At all the times.
At all the times.
At all the places.
At all the places.
Oh, Bidbitnalla, I have fallen down. No, everything is always all right all the time. Mentally, outside they will laugh because you have fallen and they know. But unless this is there, how will we pull ourselves back to the original position? Okay, I have scaled the Everest. Okay, next time we have to climb down. Beware. So, everything is always all right. Let us not be very when after reaching top of Everest. We will say that everything is always all right. Neither this nor that. Then what happens? You are always all right. No moment in our life can disturb us. If this mantra is not recited, everyone is bound by mind. What is the mantra? All the times, at all the places. No place we are, oh, I have gone to Australia, my passport is missing, what should I do? No, relax first. It's missing, you know, no? First relax, we'll see. There's always a help. Okay. Let him come down successfully and claim that I have climbed, isn't it? There's nothing wrong in climbing down, but that kind of mamakara will be not there. So this puts us back in our, at least, if at all there are characteristics of Athma, this is that, the stillness, which is always all right, all the time. Because it is beyond time, beyond places, and it's always all right. If you don't know much about Atma also, this gives us the strength or characteristics of Atma. So two things I told. And I told that everything is to be handled without creating tension within yourself, and handle the atmosphere peacefully. Even imposing discipline, do it peacefully. A child is always attracted by the light, Deepa, what is that? Jyotiya. Deepa, lamp, fire, that thing. So it will always tell that I'll touch it. Many children you would have watched, it would like to touch the fire. So you can't be arrogant, you can't be angry, because it won't understand anything. It's child. It wants to either touch it or it won't be controlled by the discipline. In olden days, mothers used to beat, hey, don't go there. They used to beat and pull back the children. An intelligent mother should do this. See, your hand is there. What do you want to touch with this finger? Your finger, yes. Then if it says yes, then she should roll a paper like this and Say that, imagine that this is your finger. I will touch with your finger. Now we will touch this fire with this. When it becomes ashes, see, this is what will happen. Learn by yourself. Because the mother is intelligent, child will be intelligent. But there are mothers and there are children also. They want to experience themselves. That we can't avoid. The children are such, they're very intelligent. They teach their own teachers. In England, there was a teacher. She was attending to the international school in a particular class. There were English, Irish, Scottish, Indians, all in a class. Indians are also very rich in England. They also joined such schools. So the teacher told, see, pound 20. How many pounds? 20 pounds. Pounds? What is pound? Currency. The intelligent child who answers this question, I will give these 20 pounds. So everyone was interested, 20 pounds. And as soon as we tell the name of God, who is accepted and mostly remembered? What comes to your mind when we take the name of the Lord? Who comes to your mind? England is not a place where there are many Catholics. So many people were keeping quiet. What to talk about this? Students, children, small boys. An Irish boy got up and told that, I know the answer. Who is that? St. Patrick's, of course. St. Patrick's. No, you are wrong. Then a Scottish boy got up. I'm sure it's St. Andrew's. Again, you are wrong. Sit down. And all the people were keeping quiet. What to tell? Then our friend, our Hindu, Gujarati boy did like this. Come on, tell me. Whom do you remember? When the name of God is told, who everyone remembers? Jesus. Yeah, come down. You have won this. Give him a big hand. Then when the boy came near, the teacher asked, I never expected you to tell this. You took the name of Jesus. Then the Gujarati boy told, I am very sure that it is Lord Krishna, but we belong to business community. I have to earn 20 pounds. So we have beautiful children like this. So practical is practical, spiritual is spiritual, psychical is psychical. Everything is. The cure is ready when some wound is ready. When the hunger is ready, the food is ready. When the thirst is ready, already quenching of thirst, water or any other thing is ready. So these are pair of dvandvas, pair of opposites. This you will live, but just watch. All these things, the whole life is just management of all this. Cure is ready when the wound is ready. So you need not be afraid. There is no disease which can't be cured. The cure is already ready. But if I think that some other is there, then I have to undergo that. So similarly, when the hunger is ready, the food is ready. I have to accept what is given. When the thirst is ready, the quenching of thirst is already ready. The thing which can quench our thirst is already ready. Only these three man suffers in the body. Ashvo, Daha, Roga. These three only man suffers in the body. The man which he can't see his own head thinks about all the heads of the world and starts suffering in the mind. So it's another waste of time in the mental level. So a man, a cool-headed person should think many things. Who is he, how he is breathing, how his body acts, and how did he come in this world. These things he need not talk or he can just start thinking, working within himself. He should not also discuss with others. Everyone is thinking about this, but they don't find answers, so they find ways to come out and work in this world. His work, profession, business, all those things are not affected by this thinking. So these thoughts are just vichara. By this, he gains the capacity to understand himself and apply himself in a better way to the welfare of the society and his family. So he can't decide on wrong things, he can't work wrongly, he can't disturb the atmosphere. All others are moving in time and space and they are pulled by the world, which they think is godly. It's not. Their own thoughts. Be deep, be practical. Be silence all the 24 hours, sing. One for the world, one for the existence. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you.